Nigeria seems to be going through a whole lot, and many will say one of the most daring kind of attack we seem to have had in recent time, especially coming from bandits and terrorists. With the killing of a brigadier general and also the adoption of 25 secondary school girls, many Nigerians are asking, is this going to be the way to go? Well, anyway, on that very sad and disturbing note, I want to welcome you to another great time on television. It's Atlantic TV, Viewpoint it is, and my name is Michael Obadia.
And I am Mercy Irabo. Welcome to Viewpoint on Atlantic TV. You know how we do it right here on Viewpoint. To start with the dailies, we go straight into the dialogue, and the news comes around, and of course trending. And you do not want to miss any part of Viewpoint today on Atlantic TV. Well, we need to go on this quick break, and once we return, the dailies will be next.
Don't miss out on exciting news, events, and more. Stay connected by following us on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram at Atlantic Media and TV.
Well, for review today, we have 7 papers. We have This Day, The Nation, Daily Trust, The Vanguard, The Punch, and definitely, Nigerian Tribune, and also The Vanguard will be wrapping things up. But I'd like to start with The Punch, and let's see what The Punch has as usual on its front page this morning. Well, sad, but we'll be talking about it later on Dialogue. Survivors relieve a night of horror. And we're talking about Kebbi school kidnap, and Riders to say, hostel staff slain VP's family, others share chilling account as parents weep. Senate probes 145 billion naira Save School Fund. But anyway, you can find more of that story up on page 2. Well, anyway, sad it is then. Let's continue with others. Tinubu gets DSS cleared ambassadorial list. It's a major one on page 8. Forex reserve soared to about 46.7 billion United States dollars, a 7-year high. It looks as if the economy is growing, but you can get more of that story on page 39. Tinubu heads to South Africa, Angola for G20 EU summit. It's another major one on page 8. But on page 7, the page before page 8, UN discourse. US envoy Nicki Minaj decried killings in Nigeria. And we'll be looking at all she said during that course of public hearing in the United States of America. But let's leave that and see if we take some other leading stories still on the front page of the Punch this lovely Wednesday morning. High-stake face-off. PDP governors resist Wike's secretariat takeover as chaos as police tear gas PDP chieftain Makinde Bala Turaki Wike clash. But get more of that story up on page 2. Let's see if we take some other leading story. Pension fund surge to about 26 trillion naira. That's a major one on page 10. But a sad and very disturbing story on page 44 and 5. Missing Federal Road Safety Officer, daughter feared killed by Oshun herbalist. A very disturbing one. Rep probe foreign interest in Edo Museum is a major one on page 3. But the picture of the day is what played out yesterday at the Wadada Plaza in Abuja, where we saw chaos of members of the two factions of the People Democratic Party clashed at the party's national headquarters. A very disturbing one, but politics it is. That's much you can take from the Punch.
Let's check out for stories making it to the headlines of the Guardian newspaper. On the Guardian this morning, the lead story, fears of one-party drift intensify as PDP crisis worsens, turns violent. That's a major story on page 6 of the Guardian newspaper. ASU rejects federal government's proposed salary increments, and that's on page 7. UN world leaders demand faster action on Paris Agreement. You can get more of that on page 3 of the Guardian newspaper. House in rowdy session over INEC's power to monitor party activities. That's on page 3. Still on the front page of the Guardian newspaper. Let's take some more major stories. Yeah, Biafra lobby network fueling Christian genocide campaign in US. That's a major story on page 3. Internet users suffer global disruptions, prolonged glitches. That's a major one on page 4 of the Guardian newspaper. Reps probe oil sector anchor borrowers funds, abandoned properties. You can get more of that on page 4 of the Guardian newspaper. Kebbi school abduction sets off military push, political backlash.
New paid degree programs. Well, anyway, you can get more of that story on page 37. At 46.7 billion United States dollars, foreign reserve hit 7-year high. And you can see as much as the issues are there, the economy seems to be growing. But anyway, get more of that story on page 35. But let's see if we take some other leading stories still on the front page of the Daily Trust. I trust you're having a great time with us right here. And PDP Turaki Wike camp clash at Secretariat. And you can see the throw of blows on the face of the other young man that was bending down. But anyway, let's leave the blows there. But I'll tell you to get more of that story on page 16 and 17. Why I applied for immigration job. Virtually impaired man seems to be saying that on page 8. For the follow makers, right to seek Kano release. And you can get more of that release on page 37. Health workers strike paralyzes hospital. No surprise, my neighbor came back home yesterday weeping. But you can get more of that story on page 12. But like I said, the picture of the day is all the the fighting that happened yesterday at the Wadada Plaza in Abuja. That's the much you can take from the Daily Trust.
Let's see what the Nigerian Tribune has for us this morning. On the Nigerian Tribune this morning, the lead story, PDP's day of tear gas and chaos. Wow, what a title. We have lots of riders, Makinde, Bala Mohammed, Wike, Anyanwu, others clash over Wadata Plaza. Day is about to break for a new PDP and for our democracy. This is coming from Makinde. Enough is enough. PDP does not belong to one person. And this is coming from Bala. New party leadership thanks Nigerians for supporting democracy. Wike backs faction expels Turaki. Muhammad, Makinde, Body George, and others. Dissolves Oyo, Ekiti, Bauchi, Lagos schools. Well, you can get more of that story on page 3 of the Nigerian Tribune. Let's take a look at some more leading stories. Christians facing genocide in northern Nigeria. Middle Belt can't break silence. And that's on page 4. Invoke your constitutional power for immediate release of Nnamdi Kanu. 44 reps, right, Tinubu. And that's on page 13 of the Nigerian Tribune. Again, ASU accuses federal government of non-readiness to meet demands, threaten fresh nationwide strikes, and you can get more of that on page 21. Kebbi school children's abduction, how my husband was killed, wife of slain VP. UNICEF First Lady condemn attack, demands students release. More of that story is on page 4 of the Nigerian Tribune. Let's take a look at some more major stories still on the front page of the Nigerian Tribune. Technology has ended era of voter impersonation, and this is coming from the INEC chairman. I love the fact that Amufitan is giving us hopes. Well, you can read more of that on page 2 of the Nigerian Tribune. Eurobond issuance boosts Nigerians' foreign reserves to $46.7 billion, and this is coming from the CBN, and you can get more of that on page 5. Owning cats could double one's risk of schizophrenia, and this is coming from health study on page 3 of the Nigerian Tribune. Let's see what we have as the picture of the day. Still talking about all of the chaos that played out at the PDP secretariat, national secretariat in Abuja yesterday. Well, that's all we're taking this morning on the Nigerian Tribune.
This day will be the next paper for us to quickly look at right here as we're extra on the papers. And on this day newspaper, the leading story reads, federal government, Tinubu depressed by students kidnapped Brigadier General's Umba's death. Riders to say assures parents, school girls will return safely. Asked Shetima to visit and sympathize with state. Condolence with army over death of soldiers. Governor Idris. Failure to act on intelligence made kidnap possible, said the sabotage accuses unnamed agency. And well, anyway, I'll not accuse anybody, but I'll tell you to read up that story on page 39. Let's see if we take some other leading stories. Bala Mohammed crisis in PDP fueled by Wike's impunity and arrogance. Well, anyway, you can just read up that story more on the front page of this day. Cardoso, foreign reserve stability, that's forex stability, disinflation, foreign reserves accretion, and have restored investors' confidence. Reserve rise to 46.7 billion United States dollars. Shetima Tinubu reforms massively opening new investment opportunities as proper. Let's see if we take some other leading story, if there are any. Well, anyway, seem not to be, but rather we have the picture of the day. The senator seems to be laughing. But anyway, the days of smiling, are we still around that days of smiling with what happened in the country? Well, anyway, questions will be asking the senators later. But that's the much you can take from these days.
Let's see what the nation has for us this morning. The lead story on the nation this morning: factions and fierce battle to control PDP headquarters. Police fire tear gas, Wike at hand to back Anyanwu group. Makinde Bala on ground for Turaki camp. Anyanwu camp suspends 3 governors and others. Well, a major one on page 2 of the Nation newspaper. Abducted pupils. President sends Shetima to Kebbi. It's assault on education, says First Lady. COAS to troops, step up rescue efforts. And you can get more of that on page 3 of the Nation newspaper. Can't Christian targeted killings, claim 40. Senior Advocate of Nigerians, XVC, others disagree. You can get more of that on page 26 of the Nation newspaper. GHL versus AMCON, concepts in the face of the courts from 49 committal proceedings commence, and that major story is on page A1 of the Nation newspaper. Foreign reserves in 7-year high at $46.7 billion. And you can get more of that on page 7 of the Nation newspaper. Let's take a look at some more major stories still on the front page of the Nation newspaper. Why I parted ways with Wike, and this is coming from Makinde. You can get that on page 2 of the Nation newspaper. 44 House of Reps members ask President to order Nnamdi Kanu's release, and that's a major story on page 3 of the Nation newspaper. Let's take a look at the picture of the day. Yeah, the picture of the day, still talking about all of the commotion and chaos at the PDP headquarters yesterday in Abuja. Well, that's all we're taking this morning on the Nation newspaper.
The Vanguard will be the last paper for us to quickly look at today as we extra on the papers. And on the Vanguard, Wike governors clash as police fire tear gas. We're talking about the PDP leadership tussle. Turaki Mohammed seek international help to serve opposition. Wike stays in his vehicle as police rain tear gas. Turaki postpones a PDP National Working Committee meeting to today. Says Nigerian democracy in grave danger. But they will say their country seems to be edging towards more issues than we think. But anyway, I'll just tell you to read up that story on page 8. Let's see if we take some other major major headlines on the dailies. Nigeria, 19 countries at risk of debt distress, says IMF on page 19. CAN insists there is Christian genocide in Nigeria, and you can get more of that insistence on page 9. BVAs and voters impersonation, but network gaps persist. Well, anyway, I would like somebody that, still takes the issue serious. I was talking about INEC chairman on page 9. Afe Babalola to NUC, clamp down on illegal varsities. It's a major screamer on page 10. But let's see if we take some other leading stories still on the front page of the Vanguard this lovely morning. Shetima heads to Kebbi as Tinubu vows rescue of kidnapped girls. Condemns killing of General Uba. How my husband was killed by bandit, vice principal's wife, and all of that sad tale you can get on page 5. But later, we'll be looking at it critically on Dialogue. AFCON, Chile, draft 3 new players to Super Eagles, access 3 after World Cup qualifiers. And you can qualify more on that story on page 29. Nigeria external reserve rises to $46 billion, highest in 7 years. It's a major one on page 19. Reps seek to lower eligibility age for governors and senators to 30. And people will say, well, I know the old ones, are they behaving well? But anyway, don't make me ask. They are the ones saying it. But get more of that story on page 8. The picture of the day, yes, is that of the 3rd FAN National Aviation Conference that was held in Lagos. And you can see no other the Lagos State Governor. And the former chairman of the All Progressive Congress, still right there. We're talking about Ganduje and a whole lot of other dignitaries during that very event that was held at the Victoria Island, Lagos, on Monday. Well, that's the much you can take from the Vanguard and all papers. Then definitely, you know, my next line of thought is that, or rather, direction, is for you to take, get a copy of any of the dailies, read them up and see how you can get abreast with what seems to be happening in the country. And definitely you'll be saying always a well-informed mind is a value mine to the country. But anyway, talking about value, we need to go on the break now. But remember, we'll come next with dialogue, and also the news will definitely be still on Viewpoint. As much as trending will trend along. Let's go on a break.
My name is Desoka, the comedy catalyst, one of Nigerian comedy.
All right, guys, back again. Yes, boss. My name is Osh, baby.
Yemi Alade.
Yeah, what up, people? It's your boy Victor Edi.
Girl Niniola.
My name is my wife, Ninja Celebrity type man.
My papa say, who won't carry cow, waka go, waka follow the cow. I know the life for you.
I see you know you're watching the Atlantic TV.
Keep watching Atlantic TV.
Atlantic TV. Keep watching Atlantic TV.
Keep watching Atlantic TV.
Keep watching Atlantic TV.
Atlantic TV.
Informative, educative, interesting, entertaining.
Worldwide, international.
Don't go anywhere or I'll catch you.
Don't touch that die. Atlantic TV. Boom.
Atlantic TV. We wanna party.
Atlantic TV. Culturally inclined and uniquely different. Atlantic TV. Culturally inclined and uniquely different.
I am SP Dafe Bright and this is Delta State Police Command. Today we'll be treating and addressing an issue that's different from what we've been doing before. Not parading suspect this time, but bringing to you a very important information. Do we know that over 85% of Nigerians do password their phones, whether it's Android phones or iPhones? There's always a password. But how come when we lose our phones, by the time we go to retrieve our lines, we go to our bank to check our bank statement, we discover that these people who collected these phones must have siphoned the phones. Now, there are times the people who steal these phones, it is not your phone that they actually need. What they need is your SIM card. Now, how does the SIM card become useful to them? Not just any SIM card, but a SIM card that is linked to your bank account, the one that you usually use to receive SMS alerts. That is what they need. Now, by the time they collect your phone, steal your phone, rob you of your phone, what they do is that they remove this SIM card from your phone and insert it on another phone. So your phone does not really need to power on. They don't even need you to give them your phone password. They don't even need your ATM password. The moment they have access to your SIM card, they can do anything they want to do with your bank account, because all they need is to generate an OTP, and the message, the OTP that is called one-time password, will be sent to that your SIM card, and with that they can do anything they want to do with your account. That is why people lose millions of their life savings simply because they lost their phone. By the side of this video, we'll be doing an illustration. You will see an illustration that talks on how you can password your SIM card. Now, the topic that we are here to discuss, passwording of SIM card. When you get a phone, pick that your phone now. See how you can password your SIM card. If you password your SIM card, by the time for any reason, your phone gets to the wrong hand, even if they remove your SIM card and insert on another phone, the first thing that you will get is a prompt that you should enter your SIM PIN. The moment they cannot get the SIM PIN, they cannot use your SIM card for anything. After the trial of 3, the POC prompt will come because the SIM card will be blocked, and you can only unblock that SIM card when you have the POC number. Some of us don't have our SIM pack, because on the SIM pack it is written there the SIM PIN and the POC number. But because some of us don't have our SIM pack, I would advise you to quickly locate the nearest office of your service provider, be it Airtel, Globalcom or MTN. Approach them and request for your POC number. Once you've gotten your POC number, you follow these instructions and ensure that you password your SIM PIN. Your SIM PIN is very, very important. On my phone, for instance, once you turn off the phone and you turn it back on, you must enter your SIM PIN. If you cannot enter your SIM PIN, the SIM card will be useless. And I'm telling you, once they cannot have access to your SIM card, your money will be safely in the bank. They cannot have access to. There was a time I lost my phone, and it took me about 2 weeks to go to MTN office to retrieve my SIM card. Why did I wait 2 weeks? Because I knew I had a SIM PIN. I knew they would not have access to my bank account. I knew they cannot even use my SIM card for anything. Some of these people, when they steal phone, we'll be hoping that, we'll track the phone. Some of them don't even sell the phone. They will just condemn the phone and just get the SIM card to see if they can have your money. Please, they say a word is enough for the wise. It is very, very important. Don't see this video and just pass it by. Watch this video to the end. We're almost approaching the end of the video. Ensure that you take the lesson. Please password your SIM card. They say a stitch in time save 9. It's very, very important. Make haste when the sun shines, not be to call. You don't have to start running and start saying, what do I do? What do I do? When you can prevent it. Let's not forget, prevention, they say, is better than cure. Thank you.
Atlantic TV, culturally inclined and uniquely different.
President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has asked Vice President Kashim Shettima to visit Katsina State, or Kebbi State rather, today to sympathize with the state government and assure parents and guardians of the kidnapped school children that the government will ensure their quick release. He also sent his condolence to the military over the death of the gallant soldier and also Brigadier General Musa Oba, who paid the ultimate price fighting insurgents in Borno State. This came on a day the wife of the slain vice principal of the Government Girls Comprehensive Senior Secondary School, Maga, Kebbi State, killed by bandits who was attacked also. Aminu Hassan mentioned, or rather narrated, how her daughter escaped during the deadly attack and also that led to the adoption of 25 schoolgirls. This is even as the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Waidi Shaibu, yesterday directed troops of Operation Fasiyama to leave no stone unturned in the ongoing search and rescue operation for the adopted students. Also yesterday, one of the U.S. lawmakers in the forefront of calling for the sanctions against Nigeria over alleged Christian genocide in the country, Raleigh Moore, equally condemned the adoption of the schoolgirls even as the United Nations Emergency Fund, the UNICEF, while also condemning the adoption call for stronger protection of children. But whether the growing calls continue or not, the most important thing all Nigerians are seeking for is a quick action against these mindless attacks of terrorists and bandits and an end to the killing and adoption. But what should that, or rather, what should be done and how should it be done is what all Nigerians are asking, and we shall also be discussing on today's edition of Dialogue. And we're looking at what should be done to end the growing insecurity in the country. And that's what we're having as a major discourse, looking at what it seems to be happening in the country at the moment with the adoptions and the killings. Many Nigerians are saying it is one too many. But anyway, it will not be too much for us to talk about it because we have a security expert joining us all the way from Asaba when we're talking about no other person but Omojefe Sam Edafe. Good morning and welcome to the show, sir. Thank you for joining us all the way from Asaba. Good morning to you.
Thank you very much. It's good talking to you. Thanks for having me, viewers.
Well, anyway, it's not a very happy one for many Nigerians. You can see the expression on my face. It greatly feels, rather I'm expressing how many Nigerians are feeling at the moment, not because of the loss of the Super Eagles, but rather because of the unnecessary killings and adoption that seems to be happening in the country. But I want us to first start by asking you, is this not one too many? And is it not like we are not winning the war against insurgency? Or what's your view as it concerns all that have transpired with the killing of the Brigadier General Musa Umba and also the adoption of 25 schoolgirls in Kebbi?
Thank you once again for having me back this morning. And I am sad, very, very sad indeed. These are times for Nigeria, and I am, the burden in my heart this morning is heavy as I talk to you, where it's like we have failed as a country, that we are at war, and all is fair in war. Hence, we have, as Nigeria, population is at darkness. If to realize that we are at the insurgency.
Hello? Okay, it looks as if we're having issues with the network. Let's see how we can really bring him back. Like I said, we're still looking at the present insecurity that seems to be growing by the day in Nigeria and what needs to be done. And anyway, yeah, we have him back. Please continue, Mr. Omojefe Jaffe. Hello? Okay, yeah, we're still really having yeah, go ahead.
But that's it's already a state of.
Okay, it looks as if we need to really go on a break now. And let's see how we can really ensure that the network is really friendly. Well, it looks as if we're really in a hostile environment, looking at the insecurity and also that the network seems not to also be friendly all the way from Asaba. But like I said, let's quickly go on a break, and when we come back, we'll see how we can really dive deep into the discourse. This discourse still remains the growing insecurity in the country, and many Nigerians are saying it's one too many, and we need more to be done, especially with the coming of the new security chiefs. How come we now have new security chiefs, but things seems not to be working, especially as it concerns insecurity growing by the day? It has never been heard that the Brigadier General was killed by the bandits in that very fashion, and many Nigerians are not happy about it, and indeed every need for us to talk about it. Let's go on a break.
Atlantic TV. Culturally inclined and uniquely different. When the lights go out, who do you call? Ticado! Ticado Energy Solutions Limited, your plug for electrical power, surveillance system, and entertainment. From expert electrical installation to efficient eco-friendly solar inverter systems, no matter the size, Ticado delivers smart energy solutions designed for today and tomorrow. We also help you secure your space with our cutting-edge security and surveillance system. Enjoy crystal clear entertainment with our professional DSTV and cable TV installation. Visit Ticado today at Block F4, Suite 41 and 42, HFP East Line Plaza, Abraham Adesanya, Aja, Lagos. Or call 0906 902 5025 or 0815 176 6817. Explore our services at ticado.com.ng. Ticado Energy Solutions Limited. Power, protection, peace.
Every year, millions of lives are stolen, dreams cut short, futures traded in silence. Human trafficking is a modern-day slavery. It hides in plain sight, tearing families apart and trapping the vulnerable in fear. But together we can end it. Together we can protect, we can rescue, and we can give hope. Say no to exploitation. Say no to slavery. Say no to human trafficking. Powered by Atlantic Media and TV.
Atlantic TV. Culturally inclined and uniquely different.
How many dreamers are in the house? Okay, all of them are raised hand. Well done.
My name is Shalewa, a student from Viewpoint International School, and I wish to become a software engineer and a data analyst to work with softwares like Google, Chrome, Safari, create my own website, create my own app, which people can use to change the world in both the medical profession, in both digital, and every aspect and area of the world.
Please, can we give Shalewa a round of applause? I'm committed to making sure that journey happens. We'll definitely be partnering with her. Well done. I love it. I love it when a girl comes out and says, I'm going to innovate. I'm going to build tech solutions for my future. And not just, did you see how she said for Google, for Chrome? I mean, say she not there think of worry. Now the world where she want, and my darling Shalewa, you will fulfill your destiny in the name of Jesus. Okay.
My name is Ronald Ombologbo from Rute International School. I want to become a doctor in the nearest future and a pharmacy, and also has my own hospital to be treating people and make them feel well. And
please, can you give him a round of applause? Just make sure, say when you become that doctor, now worry you go do first. Maybe not Jackpot go, because there are plenty doctors that are Jackpot. You will build your hospital here in Warri, so that the people of the world can come to Warri and receive excellent medical treatment from your services. Well done. Please give him a round of applause again.
Good day, everyone. My name is King David Obende. I'm a student of First Baptist Secondary School. My future, what I would like to become is a petroleum engineer. Not just at that. I plan to merge tech, software engineering in a way that I'm able to meet the demands of the new petroleum society. Because I've been experienced in the petroleum industry. For the past 20 years, there's been a major decrease in mostly efficiency. And also, I would like to see in a way that I can.
I want him to speak your dream, speak it, talk it from inside of you.
Merge.
Please give him a round of applause. You see, the Warri child is not dull. We are not dull. We are brilliant. Say, I am brilliant. My dreams are valid. Your dreams are valid. Please, can you give him a round of applause? He wants to merge tech with petroleum to bring tech solutions to the petroleum industry.
Following its designation of Nigeria as a country of particular concern, the United States has said it will work with the federal government to take decisive action amid arresting perpetrators of religious violence, particularly those killing Christians and rescuing those held hostage. The chairman of the United States Committee on International Religious Freedom, we're talking about Vicky Hasler, whose recommendation led to President Donald Trump's to blacklist Nigeria as a violator of religious freedom, disclosed these while welcoming the United States leader's decision. Hasler, in a statement, to thank Trump for taking steps to address what she described as the persecution of Christians in Nigeria. A major move. China, however, voiced strong support for Nigeria and criticized what foreign interference in the country's internal affair by the United States. Now, as part of its response to Nigeria-led violation of the United States, Congress is considering a bill that will impose severe sanctions on state governors, public officials, and non-state actors involved in enforcing the Sharia Penal Code. The bill, sponsored by Republican Senator Ted Cruz, which has passed second reading, is ready to be referred to the Senate Committee on Foreign Relations for further consultation. The proposed legislation also targets terrorist groups and individuals in purporting the Islamic laws in the country. Now, since President Trump's declaration of Nigeria as a country of particular concern, there have been heightened tension between both nations and a growing call for the federal government to be diplomatic rather than confrontational in dealing with the US. But more call has also been made to the federal government to do more as it concerns securing the life and properties of every Nigerian, irrespective of its faith. But how can this be done is what will take center stage on the show today. And that's we're talking about federal government dealing with the issue of securing lives and properties of every Nigerian. And that is what we are having as a major discourse today on Dialogue. We're talking about the federal government dealing with the issues of securing the life and properties of every Nigerian, irrespective of their faith. Anyway, to help us talk about this, as indeed it concerns security, we have no other person but a security expert joining us all the way from Asaba. And we're talking of no other person but Mr. Omojefe Edafe. Good morning and welcome to the show.
Good morning, Margaret. Good morning, all.
Nice to have you on the show. Now, let's quickly go to it. I want your reaction as it concerns what President Donald Trump said in designating Nigeria as a country of particular concern. Like I said, this is not the first time he's doing it. Rather, this will be the second time. When he first came into power, he designated Nigeria as a country of particular concern in 2020, and now doing it again in 2025. What's your reaction as it concerns that? Do you feel he's right to do so? Or do you feel, well, maybe he has other motive in ensuring or rather labeling Nigeria as a country of particular concern?
Now, thank you very much, Mike. And sincerely, I think that they're very, very interesting times for Nigeria. And I want to sincerely believe that Nigerians will take advantage of what is happening. And to me, it's a welcome development, not basically because I think there's a genocide against Christians, but it's a wake-up call to all various stakeholders to be able to fundamentally handle and look at the critical questions, the Nigeria questions. How do we go about our laws? How do we go things to be done? We're in a global world, Mike. We are in a global world wherein, for instance, out there on it, so you're not going to blame Trump. Trump he's a president of one of the greatest countries in the world, and they have access to these information that we have, or we don't even have that here, and this thing has the laws of Nigeria. Basically, we're supposed to have the Constitution of the Federal Republic passes every other law, and you understand there have been other conflicting laws, probably the Sharia law that has been in conflict with the Constitution of the Federal Republic, and which one supersedes the other. You understand that in Nigeria now a lot of things are happening that the global community is aware of. So for Donald Trump, I think sincerely, I may not support him holistically, but I think that what he is doing is a wake-up call to Nigerians for us to be able to stand and handle issues that needs to be discussed.
Anyway, I feel, yes, you feel he's in order in doing that. Now, President Donald Trump said he's most likely going to attack them in a very vicious manner. And there's every indication that, yes, under mine he made that statement, he's now going to have a legislative backing, especially from the legislative arm of the United States, because we do know that a bill has recently been sponsored by Senator Ted Cruz, and the bill is called Nigerian Religious Freedom Accountability Act of 2025, with draft number 2X2747, which is most likely going to give him more legislative backing in really coming to attack those terrorists in Nigeria. But my direct question will be, if the Nigerian government does not do anything, do you see him really going ahead with what he said he will do? Are you being a security expert, do you feel President Trump will indeed attack those persons that he would or is planning to attack in Nigeria?
I don't think so. I don't think he's going to do that. I think he wants to reach out to the Federal Republic of Nigeria so they can sit up, send a message to the Federal Republic, the president and the CEC and the entire government to sit up and to be able to strategize. I think it's time the president himself sets up a high diplomatic envoy to dialogue with the. Can you hear me? You can hear me.
Yeah,
I think
we can hear you.
The Federal Republic of Nigeria needs to set up. They need a high-powered diplomatic out to the government of the United States of America and basically be able to like tell him your help, we need your assistance in this area, and so that we'll be able to curtail and check the SSCs, the elements who are hell-bent on destroying this country. A God-given country that God gave to us that was supposed to be a wonderful place of abode. But unfortunately, Nigerians are becoming body bags are finding ourselves in body, Nigerians are finding themselves in body bags by the day. Even as we're talking, there are still killings going on there in the middle of denying whatever is happening, the American government, and tell them, okay, we deserve your help. Come and help us and assist us. That's my take.
If you feel he's not going to attack, now let's look at Article 4, subsection, or rather Article 2, subsection 1 and 4 and 7 of the United States Charter that gives every country every right to choose what they want, as in religion, economy, even in faith. Now, with that very article, we know the Republic of China came out yesterday to in every way criticize Donald Trump for taking that threat to Nigeria. Now, do you see China coming in and also helping to defuse the situation? Or do you feel the United States will even listen to China not to do what they plan to do? It's just a question.
A congressman yesterday replied the Chinese government and told them, you have no right to dictate American policy. Our foreign policies are strictly for you have no right to dictate. So you understand that is not even a problem. China is doing what they think is right, because if you have a debtor, and somebody is trying to destroy the man, you will want to preserve the debtor so it doesn't die and debts can be met. So I think that what China is doing is to kind of preserve, and articulate their resources so they don't get lost out. I understand what China is doing, nothing, but at the same time, America will not listen to China.
I needed to laugh because it says the Chinese government is trying to see how they can secure their debtor, and knowing that Nigeria is owing a whole lot to the Republic of China. But let's leave that and come to another major speculation. Now, there's this growing speculation that the United States is putting a threat on Nigeria because they want to put their military base right here in Nigeria. And somebody that is even raising that speculation more is no other person but Lieutenant General Abdulrahman Dambaza, retired. He's a former chief of army staff and ex-minister of interior. Now, I want your reaction to that. Do you feel American is trying to put a pressure on us, all in a bid to establish their military base here in Nigeria after they are exiting in Niger and other part of the continent?
Let me tell you one of the reasons why Donald Trump did what he did in 2019. Let me go back to the basics, right? Okay, in 2018, there was an attack in Jos, Plateau State, on a community, several communities, and an imam by the name Abdullah Abi something, and he by himself was able to hide over 250 Christians. When the bandits came, they came for him even, and because he had intelligence report that the man was hiding Christians, so they came for him, and he told them, he said everybody, he hid the women in his house and the men in the mosque. So when he came, he told them that the men, everybody lives. So if you think that this was not in any way a genocide or an attack on Christians, why did the men go back when that this everybody lived? So eventually when they went back, Buhari gave the man and the governor of Plateau State, an American envoy was present. You will not blame the American government for coming up with that designation. I think that they have informations that are readily available in the internet, that are readily available. And there is a global world, like I said earlier. We're living in a global world. So all these are readily available, and they have access to these informations. And every day they hear of cries, people who were murdered and all that. And this is within a particular region. And I understand that Muslims are killed as well. But you appreciate the fact that whatever coloration we want to give this thing, there has been serious mind-blowing killings that has been happening in this country. And I think it's high time, the issue should be addressed holistically. It's high time the Nigerian government take advantage of what is happening now, reach out with a diplomatic envoy to the American government and tell me to do this. You can help, this kind of thing can happen. So I think that what we should be doing, what the government should be doing, is to reach out via a high-powered diplomatic committee set up and be able to okay, see what we can do. This is what we can do to save the situation. Rather than begin to think of how we can engage America in anything we want to do. You understand? This is my take. This is
I
my
want to
take.
bring you
Sincerely.
back to one of the questions I asked initially. Now, there's this perceived speculation going on air that America is only doing this to push us into a box or a corner for them to force us to have their military base here. Like I said, no other person but ex-military chief, Lieutenant General Abdurrahman Dambaza, the ex-interior minister and minister of security, has said so. Do you feel that's the case here? That they want to box us into a corner to have their military base here, knowing that they've exited Niger and other part of the continent? Let's have your view on that.
I sincerely want to believe there are a lot of conspiracy theories, going on now. There are a lot of conspiracy theories, and I don't want to believe if America wants to set up a military base, if they want to set up a military base, there are a lot of enabling countries, willing countries that are out there that are willing to come and give them whatever they need. I don't want to believe that. And I think there are basic diplomatic ways to go about it. They want to set up a diplomatic military base. So I don't want to believe a lot of conspiracy theories. But whichever way, I am saying that whichever way, even if that is the case, can take advantage of this, reach out to them. Because sincerely, we need assistance of the United States of America. We need the assistance of the USA. So we can't shy away from that fact.
Yeah, nice to know, irrespective of whether you feel that's just a conspiracy theory. Now, we want to go now into our full discussion, and the discussion is what should we do as a country to better protect our citizens? Because information reaching us here on Dialogue is that about 4 persons have been killed in Benue State just in the last 2 days. That is the high-level security information reaching us at Dialogue. And these persons were killed in Awolu community in Ogewa, Ohimini, local government area of Benue State. And we learned that these attackers were even going around the community for days, and they attacked them on Monday, and up till now, no security personnel has gone there to help them. That's the security report we're having. So undermining all of this is happening. More persons are still being killed in Nigeria. But my question now is, how can we take the fight to the bandits? Because they started all of this. If they have not been killing Christians or Nigerians, nobody would think of coming to invade or attack Nigeria. Sir, what do we need to do to put an end to this?
Like, sincerely, what we think we need to, like I've always said on this platform, we need to be more proactive. We need to do the things that are expected of us, and we should take away and make sure that those who are saddled with responsibility of governance, those who are the end users of intelligence should be more decisive, and they should endeavor to, they should have the political willpower to do what they ought to do. Because like I said, there was some time there was a report, during that Yalewa killing in Benue State. The truth, there was an American body that said they had intelligence to the fact that there was going to be an attack, an attack of this nature, and they reached out to the Nigerian government and they told us, okay, this is going to take place, this is going to happen within this specified time, and they even gave them 5 hours notice. And unfortunately, there was even Nigerian army presence within the radius of about less than 100 kilometers that would have been able to access the place in less than an hour. But unfortunately, they did nothing. And the American government are aware that these are things that ought to have been done, and there's more that has to be done. So we need to be proactive. Like I said, we need to have the political willpower. We need to be proactive to be able to handle all these excesses. That's what I think, sir. And I know that it is doable. It is not something that is undoable. It's doable. It's the government to become more serious and more proactive. We should be decisive in our actions. That's what I think.
Just in the early hours of Tuesday, Operation Haidike killed or neutralized about 6 bandits. And as they were trying to repel some of these bandits really attacking Malam Foturi area of Borno State. But my question is, all of that happened because they had intelligence that these bandits or terrorists were coming to attack the military base. Now, what do you feel we should do? Should we seize the moment in actually talking to America to help us on the issue of intelligence gathering, and not only that, but the issue of giving us more sophisticated weapons to help us deal with this problem? Should that be the way to follow now or to go rather than this unnecessary confrontation?
like I said earlier, if you heard what I said earlier, I said it's high time Nigeria take advantage of this, take advantage of the interest that has been displayed by the President of the United States of America and be able to reach out through a high-power diplomatic delegation and be able to just lay these issues down and tell them these issues are beyond our hand and the system has been so sabotaged in such a way that we need the presence of a high I listened to a House of Rep member who was saying that during the time of President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, that mercenaries were employed and the mercenaries were able to decimate these elements until there was a far cry, high level cry against seriously against the government that they were killing the Northern Muslims. So you see, what I'm saying is that it's about the willpower, and at the same time, we'll take advantage of the American government's interest, cry out to them, reach out to them, and be able to discuss with them on the way forward. So I think instead of us, casting aspersion and casting blames, we should take advantage of this interest of Mr. President of America and reach out to American government and ask for their help.
This will not be the first time that we are seeing such, especially as it concerns intelligence gathering with the United States. Yes, we can reach them. But if you take your mind also during the first administration of Trump and in 2018, when an American citizen was kidnapped in Niger or Chad and was brought down to Nigeria, the Americans did not share that intelligence with us. They only came, rescued their citizens before even highlighting or rather informing the national or the federal government that they came to Nigeria to rescue their citizens. So there's already that growth of mistrust between both governments. Do you see the American even willing to share any intelligence gathering with us? I'm just asking.
Definitely not. Definitely not. There is a lot of sabotage within the downline from the NSA down to the operational theaters. The system has been so sabotaged. There is no way you expect the American government to share any kind of intelligence with the Nigerian government. Not at all. It's not possible. It has happened before. We had that same problem. That was why the Jonathan government did reach out to mercenaries, and that was why they employed the services of mercenaries, to prosecute the war then. So it's not possible. I don't think the American government may want to share intelligence with the Nigerian government. Not at all. I don't think so. They wouldn't want to do that. Because there's a lot of sabotage within the line.
So we are most likely not going to have them cooperate with us. So will be there any need for us going out to reach out to them? Is a question. When you feel they will not in every way want to work with us.
There is a need to reach out to them. They can, if they don't give us, if they don't share intelligence, they will give us the technical manpower. They give us the technical abilities, the technical manpower to handle whatever we are. So we can make a case. That's what I'm saying. Let it be high power delegates, high diplomatic power that involves elder statesmen and all that can come together and seasoned and well recognized and seasoned administrators in the theater, the operational theater of battle that can handle this discussion. Not just basically the politicians we see day-to-day politicians. Mr. President should reach out to critical stakeholders so that we can have these things sorted out by the American government.
There's also this growing call that this is beyond something that military might will crush. And there's this growing call for, like you said, a critical security summit and for us to come on board. And one of such calls is being loud, especially by Sheikh Gumi, saying that this is not time to kill the bandits, that if the Americans attack the bandits, it will be more violent for Nigerians, that negotiation should be. So I just want you to help us, as a security expert, should that be the route or the route for us to follow? Let's understand, is dialogue going to solve anything? Is a roundtable discussion going to put an end to this? Or do you feel a military force, military might will end all of this? Let's talk.
Is very embarrassing for Nigeria, a country as great as Nigeria, to be saying we should be dialoguing. The last time I saw a video clip of would-be bandits who came to dialogue with the government. I saw them bearing arms and they were wearing military camouflage and all that. And I felt very, very embarrassed and scandalized. This is not acceptable. This is not done anywhere in the world where you see people who came, they came to show us force. That's what we call a show of force in the military. That's what they came to do. They came to show us all their brandings, their GPMGs, all the wonderful GPRGs. They came, to show us and tell us that they were prepared, and they're not the ragtag army that we think they are. So I think sincerely, Gumi is not busy. In the words of former CDS, General Musa and Christopher Musa, he said something. He said, "I've been in the theater. I've been in the operation theater for a very long time. These men eat their words. They always go back on their words. You don't dialogue with them. You don't dialogue with these elements. And that's what I think it is. You don't dialogue with them because they are going to definitely eat their words. We should be decisive. And I think what the American government is saying is a true thing. Like what Jonathan did, if in the words of that House of Rep member, he said they were almost decimating them. They were almost at, and what he said, they were less than 50. The mercenaries that came were less than 50. And they were almost, he said, were very precise. Their precision level was 100%. He said, you see them sit down somewhere with laptops and they're able to show, because there are satellite views of all this. I've always said this. Let's go digital. This is not a time to begin to be, carry your conventional armed forces because we're fighting a guerrilla warfare. And it's not, you don't use a conventional military to fight it. We need to be decisive, go digital and be able to come up with strategies that, let's change our strategic policies. Let's change our, so the tactical information will be different. When the strategic policies are changed, the tactical formations will be different. And you see, it will not come down. And that down line of from the man who started with the affairs of handling the security down to the theater operators, you now eliminate all that. When you eliminate it, you are taking away saboteurs that are within the same line. So you now see there is a different thing that is operational now. It's just between the end user and the operational theater. And that's all. So we take away that saboteurs within the line. And those bottlenecks, those bureaucracies are gone, and they don't have information that they have access to. And you decimate them. This is what is done globally.
We're still talking about the issue of security and how the federal government can better secure the lives of properties of Nigerians to in every way avert that impending strike being promised by President Donald Trump on account of the killings of large number of Christians. You totally agree with me that in the first half of this year alone, we've lost about 2,236 persons who have been killed, exceeding the 1,183 and the 2,194 that were killed in the whole of last year, indicating that this year, the number of persons that have been killed totally surpasses our 5 years period of killings, especially as it concerns Nigerians. And everybody feel that is why there's growing call for more to be done on account of these, seems to be. But we need to thank him for really adding his voice to this, and we'll see how we can bring him any other time to indeed give us more light as it concerns the issue of security. But it can never be complete if we do not have your reactions, comment, and also contribution. Hence, I will be telling you to drop those reactions on our different social media platforms, our Facebook page, on Instagram, as much as you can also send it to every other social media platform that is already on your screen. Let's have your comments as it concerns this growing tension that has arose on account of the threat coming from President Donald Trump, saying that he would definitely indeed strike, and he said viciously, those marauding criminals that are killing Christians in large number in Nigeria. Let's have all of those reactions from you guys, and truly we appreciate them.
My name is Desoka, the comedy catalyst, one of Nigerian comedy.
All right, guys, back again. Yes, boss. My name is Osh, baby.
Yemi Alade.
Yeah, what up, people? It's your boy Victor 80.
Girl Niniola.
My name is my wife, Niger Celebrity type man.
My papa say, who won't carry cow, waka follow the cow. I know the life for you.
As you know, you're watching the Atlantic TV.
Keep watching Atlantic TV.
Atlantic TV. Keep watching Atlantic TV.
Keep watching Atlantic TV.
Keep watching Atlantic TV.
Atlantic TV.
Informative, educative, interesting, entertaining.
Worldwide, international.
Don't go anywhere, I'll catch you.
Don't touch that die. Atlantic TV. Boom.
Atlantic TV. We wanna party.
Atlantic TV. Culturally inclined and uniquely different. Atlantic TV. Culturally inclined, uniquely different.
The Warri Child. I want to firstly celebrate God Almighty. Please, can we jam our hands together? For the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords, the one that kept you and I alive. And I equally want to say thank you for Coral Care Foundation. Please, let's celebrate them. Then most importantly, celebrate yourself. If you don't celebrate yourself, nobody will celebrate you. It's a privilege being here. I'm here by the grace of God and by His mercies. Now, I want to say this to us. As children, we are supposed to be world changers. We are supposed to change our world. But there's a great saying by a great man. He says, if you want to change the world, the first thing you do is make up your bed when you wake up in the morning. Now, I want to ask us, how many of us made our bed when we woke up this morning? I doubt. You want to change the world, the first thing you do is change your bed when you wake up in the morning. So say to yourself, I will make my bed tomorrow when I wake up. I like inspiring stories, just like the one our sister, Ogene Tejiri, rightly gave. Please, let's celebrate grace upon our life. God is taking you higher. Beyond limits, unlocking the potentials of the Warri child. While I was growing up, my mom and my dad, they were from the Anglican. And in the Anglican, they do what is called confirmation. I don't know how many of us know about that. When you give birth to a child, you do what is called confirmation. And during the confirmation, you give the child a name. And so the name they chose for me was John. And I loved it. I said, John, wow, that's beloved of Jesus. We're very dear to Jesus. But I think somewhere along the line, my mom looked at the Bible again and she saw that John's head was cut off. She saw John the Baptist, not John the Beloved. And she said, no, I don't want my son's head to be cut off. And so she changed the name at the 9 minutes from John to Moses. And one thing she forgot was that Moses did not enter the promised land. I will enter my promised land. Say to yourself, I will enter promised land. Yes, it's by grace. As the name Moses implied, if you study your Bible very well, you will see that Moses died and almost did not enter heaven because Satan stood to accuse him. I died once, I didn't make it to heaven. Jesus gave me a second chance. And that second chance is why I'm here to tell you. And what you need to make it, God will give to you today in the name of Jesus. Unlocking the potentials of the Warri child. Inspiring growth, excellence, and purpose. Introduction, overview of Warri's unique identity and youth culture, the challenges, hidden strengths, and Warri child end, beyond limit breaking mental, social, and economic barriers. Quickly, next slide. Now, you can see the overview of the Warri's identity and youth. A Warri, the city is in Niger Delta region of Nigeria and has a unique identity, vibrant youth, and we have what is called their cultural heritage, language, unique, fashion, just like what we saw our wonderful mommy and sister rightly displayed. You can imagine, in fact, you are going around the world. Challenges and opportunity overall. Warri's unique identity and youth culture are shaped by its history, culture, creativity, and progress. And I tell you, you are going to turn the world around. Next slide, please. Now, you can see There's what is called the spirit of resilience and creativity in the Warri child. High exposure to street realities and survival instincts. These have made a lot of children from Warri to become noted. There's something I used to say. They say Warri they know they carry. I say, but why they know they carry first? It's not good to say you know they carry last, but you must carry first. Say, I will carry first. Potentials for innovation, leadership, and transformation. Next slide quickly. The current challenges, poor educational infrastructure, which is changing with the current things the government is giving. In fact, I want to salute Coral Care Foundation again, and I know they are being supported by the government. Please, let's clap together. Let's clap our hands together for what they are doing. And we know that the narratives will change. Peer pressure and cult influence, just like you saw NDLEA. You know, they talked about drug, and this has to do with peer pressure, cult influence. Now, what is reigning in the society now? Can anybody tell me? Oh, somebody has said it. I didn't say it from my mouth. Oh, you were the ones that said it. That is what is plus. That's what we are seeing now. People using their own parents for rituals. You can imagine a brother using the sister for rituals because of money. At the end, what will happen? All is vanity. Limited mentorship and positive role models. Economic hardship and unemployment are part of the challenges. Family instability and lack of guidance. Next slide. Now, the natural intelligence and creativity. You know, we have these untapped potentials. The natural intelligence and creativity, sports and entertainment talent, leadership and community influence, technological and adaptability, and problem-solving skills. Listen, there are so many innovations that have been made by people from this climb. And I know that we have intellectuals among us that will make Nigeria proud. Do I hear we echo amen? Unlocking the potentials. We have the educational reform, skills development, mentorship and role modeling, pre-entrepreneurship, innovation hubs, faith and moral reorientation. Faith and moral reorientation. Very, very important. And I will share a story at the end. Government and NGO partnership. Next slide. Next slide quickly. Now, the role of parents and guardians. They have roles to play. Just like our wonderful mommy and sister rightly said, her mom played a vital role in shaping our future. And you can see that our life is becoming better for this. So they have a place in the early character building, encouraging curiosity and learning, providing emotional support and moral guidance. Next slide, quickly. The roles of the schools and teachers, they have their own points to play. So teachers too have very important roles to play. Quickly, let's move on to the next slide. Now, the role of community leaders, creating safe spaces for youth, investing in youth centers, digital training, just like what Coral Foundation is doing, encouraging peace, unity, and volunteerism. Next slide. Now, these success stories from Warri child. How many of us know this young girl, Adego Success? How many of us know her? She's this social media, the content, you can see, went viral from being sent home from school due to unpaid school fees. The parents could not pay her school fees. She was sent home. But despite promises of help, she claimed they weren't fulfilled. However, she's been featured in a Nollywood movie and continues to pursue her dreams. She pursued her dream. Say, I can. Yes, I can. You have a future. You have a role to play. Don't allow drugs to destroy the future that God has given to you. Listen, you have a promising future. If our mommy and sister here can fulfill purpose and destiny, you have no reason to fail. You have all been created with a unique identity. God gave each and every one of us DNA. Even twins don't have the same what? They don't have the same DNA. You were fearfully and wonderfully. Say, I am fearfully and wonderfully made. So next time, just like, our anchor rightly said, and somebody says, you are too tall or you are too short, just tell them I'm the right. God put me in consideration when he was making me. And so no one can be you. You are who God says you are. Next slide. Most importantly, heroes are made. They are not born. Nobody was born an hero. The only one that came from heaven to save us as the hero was Christ when he was given birth to. He was given birth to because his birth was divine, not ordinary. Heroes are made. Everyone that came here on earth became an hero. And you will become an hero too. So beyond the limit model, step, vision, pathway, we have one to discover our identity, purpose, and gift, develop skills and character and knowledge, deploy impact, innovation, and leadership. Next slide. Call to action. Let's say it together. Let's build the next generation of purpose-driven Warri children. Community collaboration initiatives, mentorship, volunteer call. All lies on our shoulder. Next slide. Conclusion. Every Warri child is a seed of. So I am a seed of. Together we can unlock potentials beyond limits. Now listen.
Good day and welcome to our daily news roundup on Atlantic TV. I'm Mike Egopadia. Here are our top stories. Tinubu embarks on two-nation mission for G20 AU-EU summit. Tension at Wadata Plaza as Wike convoy blocked. Trade remains Nigerian economic engine, Minister Oduwole. And on the foreign scene, Saudi Crown Prince breaks silence, calls Khashoggi murder a terrible mistake. And Iraq scatter UAE World Cup dream with late-minute penalty. Now to the news in full. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu on Wednesday departed Abuja for a two-nation walking summit to South Africa and Angola, where he's billed to attend the G20 or the 20th G20 Leaders Summit in Johannesburg and the 7th AU-EU Summit in Yaoundé. A statement by Special Advisor Information and Strategy, Bayo Ananuga, says President Tinubu will also hold a series of bilateral meetings aimed at advancing Nigerians' renewed hope agenda, especially on regional peace, security, and economic development. From South Africa, the President will proceed to Luanda for the AU-EU Summit, slated for November 24th to 25th. The gathering will bring together African and European leaders, innovators, and civil society groups to discuss joint priorities including digital transformation, infrastructure, and creative industries, manufacturing, and agribusiness. Tinubu will be accompanied by key cabinet members, including the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Finance, Social, or rather Solid Minerals, Trade and Investment, as well as Director General of the National Intelligence Agency. The President is expected to return to the country at the end of both engagements. The President's first stop will be Johannesburg for the G20 summit, hosted by President Cyril Ramaphosa, the meeting holding from November 22nd to 23rd, will focus on solidity, equality, and sustainability, with world leaders expected to tackle global concerns ranging from economic growth and debt burden to climate change, critical minerals, and artificial intelligence. Nigeria has recorded another major victory in its campaign to recover stolen cultural heritage, as the Ministry of Foreign Affairs today handed over 2 Bini a bronze relief plaque, and a commemorative head to the Ministry of Art, Culture, Tourism, and Creative Economy. In her remarks, the Minister of Arts, Culture, Tourism, and Creative Economy, Hinatu Musa, described the return as a historic moment for Nigeria and the people of Benin, adding that ongoing discussion with global institutions will pave the way for more artifacts to be returned. The Director General of the National Commission for Museum and Monuments, Olu Holloway, also commended the effort of all stakeholders, including His Royal Majesty Prince Erediawa, who championed the recovery process. Holloway said the return of the bronze represents a huge part of Nigerians' history and reinforces the country's long-standing fight for restitution of looted cultural objects. A historic handover was performed by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs in the presence of 3 high chiefs representing the Oba of Benin, His Royal Majesty Omonoba Uduakpolopolo, the Oba Areodoa II. The event was attended by senior officials for the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Art and Culture, Tourism, and the NCMM, marking another step in Nigeria's push to reclaim its cultural identity on the global stage. The artifacts taken during the 1897 British invasion of the Benin Kingdom were recently repatriated from the Museum of Fine Art in Boston. The handover ceremony held in Abuja, where top government officials and representatives of the Benin royal court were present to witness the historic moment. Away from that, there was palpable tension at the PDP National Secretariat in Abuja yesterday, as the convoy of the Bauchi State Governor Bala Mohammed and Oyo State Governor Seyi Makinde reportedly obstructed the convoy of the Minister of the FCT Nyesom Wike from gaining entry into the headquarters. In video circulating on social media, security aides from both sides can be seen attempting to manage the situation as party officials hurry to de-escalate the tension. The incident occurred just as the PDP leadership conveyed to address ongoing dispute threatening party cohesion. While no official statement has been released by the involved parties, sources within the Secretariat said the confrontation reflects deeper political undercurrents within the opposition group. Normalcy was later restored and the convoy were eventually granted passage after intervention from senior security personnel. Eyewitnesses say the standoff, which lasted several minutes, heightened concern over a widening internal division within the party ahead of a crucial strategic meeting scheduled for the day. The Speaker of the House of Representatives, Tajuddin Abbas, has assured Nigerians that the National Assembly will embark on a comprehensive review of the Electoral Act 2022 to better reflect the nation's democratic aspiration. At Tuesday plenary, lawmakers also took a major step towards expanding political participation as the House passed for second reading a constitutional amendment bill seeking to reduce the age requirement for election into the Senate and the Office of Governor. The proposed amendments, according to its sponsors, aim to deepen inclusion and give young Nigerians a strong voice in governance. The bill has now been referred to the relevant committees for further legislative scrutiny before it returns for third reading and harmonization. The Speaker says the review of the Electoral Act and proposed age reduction will be handled with transparency, promising Nigerians a reform process that strengthens trust in the electoral system. Abbas gave the assurance while responding to an observation raised on the floor by Representative Ifeanyi Ozoku, who cited gaps in the current law and called for urgent amendment ahead of future elections. We need to go on a break now, but when we come back, more news across Nigeria, as well as business, foreign, and sport news. Join us again.
My name is Desoka, the comedy catalyst of one of Nigerian comedy.
All right, guys, back again. Yes, boss. My name is Osh, baby.
CME Alade.
Yeah, what up, people? It's your boy Victor 80.
Girl Ninyola.
My name is my wife Naija celebrity type man.
My papa say, who won't carry cow, waka follow the cow. I know the life for you.
I see you know you're watching the Atlantic TV.
Keep watching Atlantic TV.
Atlantic TV. Keep watching Atlantic TV.
Keep watching Atlantic TV.
Keep watching Atlantic TV.
Atlantic TV.
Informative, educative, interesting, entertaining.
Worldwide, international.
Don't go anywhere, I'll catch you.
Don't touch that die. Atlantic TV. Boom.
Atlantic TV. We wanna party.
Atlantic TV. Culturally inclined and uniquely different.
Welcome back. Now the rest of the news. Nigerian Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment, Dr. Jumoke Oduwole, said trade remains a central pillar of the country's economy despite ongoing reforms in the industrial and agricultural sector. Oduwole noted that the federal government is intensifying effort to boost export capacity, attract investment, and strengthen local production to reduce dependence on import. She ordered that improved trade policies, digital reforms, and stronger partnership with the private sector will further position Nigeria as a competitive player in regional and global markets. The minister emphasized that ongoing industrial expansion and agricultural productivity is expected to create jobs, enhance revenue, and ensure long-term economic stability.
In the trenches of trade facilitation here in Nigeria, and the protagonist of today's gathering, the Comptroller General, Bashir Adewale Adeni, MFR, thank you for bringing us key AfCFTA stakeholders from over 28 countries is a central pillar of Nigeria's economic diversification and industrialization strategy. With a combined 48% of GDP, our industries and agriculture sector, from our much-loved consumer products to our pharmaceutical brands, to our commodities and agribusiness products, to the crucial role that petroleum plays in our foreign exchange earnings. The Nigerian economy is a trading economy, and trade in goods plays a significant role, a critical pathway to creating better jobs, building stronger businesses, driving diversified and sustained growth, and accelerating regional economic integration under the renewed hope agenda of Mr. President. The FMITI is the anchor and spearhead of this ambition. At this important occasion, I am pleased to share some of our recent efforts, many of original schedule of tariff concessions for trading goods under the AfCFTA. Since then, we have commenced implementation of preferential rates from goods made in Africa.
Speaking on Monday, the minister highlighted that industry and agriculture now account for 48% of Nigerian gross domestic product. A development, she says, underscores the critical role trade plays in sustaining national growth. Nigeria has earned global recognition as the Financial Reporting Council of Nigeria received a prestigious international standard on accounting and reporting honors from the United Nations Conference on Trade and Development. In a statement released on Saturday, the FRC confirmed that the recognition was presented during the ISAR honors at the 42nd section of the United Nations Intergovernment Working Group of Experts in Geneva. The United Nations highlighted Nigerian progress in building a global aligned sustainability report framework, its multi-stakeholder adoption readiness working group, and the nationwide reform positioning sustainability disclosure at the center of the corporate governance. Dr. Olowo, who recently completed his tenure as chair of for the first ISAR section, described the honor as a proof of Nigerians' commitment to transparency, accountability, and responsible investment. A major milestone referred by the UN was President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's 2024 endorsement of the National Roadmap for adopting the IFRS Sustainable Standard and the IFRS S1 and S2, advancing the country's pledge made at the COP27. Under Olowo's leadership, over 2,000 professionals were trained, while partnership with global development bodies, including German's GIZ, helped deepen sustainable finance capacity across Nigeria. The award places Nigeria as the only African country honored this year, following what the UN described as a transformative reform and strong leadership in sustaining reporting under FRS Chief Executive Dr. Rabiu Olowo. Away from that now, the foreign scene, Saudi Crown Prince and Prime Minister Mohammed bin Salman says the 2019 murder of journalist Jamal Khashoggi was a grave and painful mistake, insisting Saudi Arabia has taken steps to ensure such an incident never happens again. At the Oval Office in Washington, cameras captured the two leaders exchanging warm greetings before addressing reporters. Trump at 78 described Khashoggi as extremely controversial, while praising Prince Mohammed as a very good friend who has done an incredible job, including on human rights issues. The Crown Prince reiterated that the killing carried out by Saudi agent was never sanctioned by top leadership, emphasizing that Riyadh had implemented strong reforms since global outrage erupted in 2018. Khashoggi murder strained the Saudi relation with Western nations for years, following calls for accountability and kingdom security apparatus.
Is to destroy this. I feel painful about, families of 9/11 in America, but, we have to focus on reality. Reality based on CIA documents and based on a lot of documents that Osama bin Laden, he used Saudi people in that event for one main purpose, is to destroy this relation, to destroy the American-Saudi relation. That's the purpose of 9/11. So whoever buy in that means they are helping Osama bin Laden's purpose of destroying this relation. He knows that strong relation between America and Saudi Arabia, it's bad for extremism, it's bad for terrorism.
The Crown Prince made the remarks during a meeting with the United States President Donald Trump at the White House, while Trump defended him, saying he knew nothing about the killing inside the Saudi consulate in Istanbul. Talking sports, Iraq has ended the United Arab Emirates' hope of qualifying for the 2026 FIFA World Cup, clinching a dramatic 2-1 victory in Basra on the Tuesday to advance to the Intercontinental Playoff. With the game locked at 1-1 deep into injury time, VAR awarded Iraq a penalty after a foul inside the box. Amar Al-Mari stepped up and calmly sent the goalkeeper the wrong way, sparking wild celebration among more than 65,000 fans at the Basra International Stadium. The tense encounter saw both sides push aggressively for a win, but Iraq's resilience paid off in the dying seconds. The victory sends Iraq forward to the Intercontinental Playoff, keeping their World Cup hopes burning, while the UAE campaign ends in heartbreak. The UAE, who were held a 0-0 draw in the first leg in Abu Dhabi on November 13th, needed an outright win to keep their campaign alive, but the stoppage time penalty turned the tides against them. Still talking on the world of sports, Italian side Lazio are now open to offers for Nigerian midfield Fasayo Dele Bashiru, as uncertainty grows over his long-term future at the Serie A club. The midfielder, who recently returned to individual training after a hamstring injury, has featured in only 4 Serie A matches this season. Earlier in the campaign, he was dropped from the squad during Lazio's injury crisis to make room for Tamo Basic, with the Nicolo Rivaro, who headed for surgery. The club is weighing a temporary reinstatement. Football Italia reports that Lazio will listen to any credible offer, with journalist Alfredo Pelada noting that Dele Bashiru is not considered untouchable since joining from Hasterspor for 3.4 million euros last summer. The Nigerian has yet to regain the form that saw him shine in Turkey, where he contributed 8 goals and 3 assists. It's not the only potential departure. Sarri is also pushing for an exit from Rada Brasher's side and Tijani Noslin as the club looks to raise funds for new signing. Despite his return to training, Dele Bashiru's future in Rome remains uncertain, with the January window expected to determine the next phase of his career. This comes days just after manager Maurizio Sarri reported advised the club hierarchy to sell the 23-year-old, who has struggled for game time due to injury setback and tactical decision. With that sporting news, we've come to the end of the news on Atlantic. But do remember, if you have any newsworthy report, we'll do well to send it to our different social media platforms and we'll have them read here. I still remain Michael Gopadio.
Atlantic TV, culturally inclined and uniquely different. When the lights go out, who do you call? Ticado! Ticado Energy Solutions Limited, your plug for electrical power, surveillance system and entertainment. From expert electrical installation to efficient eco-friendly solar inverter systems, no matter the size, Ticado delivers smart energy solutions designed for today and tomorrow. We also help you secure your space with our cutting-edge security and surveillance system. Enjoy crystal clear entertainment with our professional DSTV and cable TV installation. Visit Ticado today at Block F4, Suite 41 and 42, HFP East Line Plaza, Abraham Adesanya, Aja, Lagos. Or call 0906 902 5025 or 0815 176 6817. Explore our services at ticado.com.ng. Ticado Energy Solutions Limited. Power, protection, peace.
Behind closed doors, too many suffer in silence. Too many lives are scarred by violence in the very place that should bring peace, the home. Domestic violence is not love. It is pain. It breaks trust, destroys lives and families, and steals futures. Domestic violence is not a private matter. It's a violation of dignity, and it must end. Because hitting a woman does not make you a man, but correcting her in love and staying in peace with her is God's plan. Together, we can raise our voices, protect the vulnerable, and rebuild lives. Say no to silence. Say no to fear. Say no to domestic violence. Powered by Atlantic Media and TV.
Mr. Michael Gubadia. Mr. Michael, thank you for always coming to join me.
Trending, especially when it concerns the midweek, is always exciting. And
yeah.
I'm looking forward to see what the story
And you look good. I love the touch of powder on your face.
Thank you so much. I'm learning from you.
Yeah, you need to. All right, without wasting much time, let's just dive straight into our top story for today. The story has shaken Nigerians online. A grieving daughter has come forward alleging that her unconscious mother was overcharged 170,000 naira for just 2 pints of blood, a service that should have cost around 50,000 naira. She says the worst part came after her mother passed According to her, the hospital is now demanding 2.5 million naira before releasing the woman's body to her. Let's see the footage.
Who does that? How much is oxygen? How much is blood? Blood is 25,000 naira. You are charging me 170,000 naira. Top two blood that they gave to her. Who does that? When I want make I praise. Go on Instagram live. Are you on live? Yes. You should allow me go now. Doctor, where's the doctor hospital? In office. You should allow me go. No one problem. This bill you gave me, I know the price of blood. I know the price you're paying for oxygen in the other hospital. That you put for 270,000 naira. I'm going to post this thing online. I'm going to go crazy. See, if not, if you want peace to reign, just allow me go in peace.
You don't injure me, sir. Please don't keep my sister captive. Oh, please open the door. Yes.
Open the door.
Jenny, open the door first.
Open the door.
Jenny, open the door.
Open the door, Jennifer. I get proud. Since my mama, people know my mama. One not try me. You also hospital. You should allow me to carry my mother's corpse. You should allow me to carry my mother's corpse now. Allow me to carry my mother's corpse in peace. You don't want me to start a movement now. I don't want to talk about how my mother died in this hospital. And you people did not do anything about it.
Well, this has sparked major reactions online. People are asking how about hospitals having transparent billing methods and all of these things going on. Well, let's see some of the reactions we got on net. It is really frustrating how hospitals operate these days. In many Lagos general hospitals, for example, when a woman is pregnant, families are often pressured to donate blood and pay extra fees for its preparation, supposedly in case it's needed during delivery. Yet, when the time comes, they frequently claim the blood bank is empty and insist you buy blood elsewhere, often at outrageously high prices. The very blood you were asked to donate ends up being sold for a fortune. Situations like this show how prohibitively expensive healthcare has become, and sadly, it's one of the reasons mortality rates have been climbing over the past couple of years. Yeah, for this one, I think I even have a personal experience in Lagos General Hospital. She paid the bills without complaining of price before her mom died. She's dead now. She realized the price is no longer what it is. If the fee charge is what was used, if the hospital have a breakdown of her bills, she needs to pay. All the story and ranting is baseless. Let's see for some more reactions. This is heartbreaking. A woman walked into the hospital conscious, was charged 170,000 naira for blood that should have been 50,000 naira. And now that she's gone, they are demanding 2.5 million naira before releasing her body. How did our healthcare system become this cruel? Life shouldn't end in exploitation. Nigeria needs urgent reform. This is not normal. I have experienced this 2023 September when my little brother was in coma. Omo, you won't take the cops out until you balance the hospital. Those nurses don't get any sympathy or joy. That is normal to them. They don't want to know if you're hurt or not. Omo, Abina to sell my blood, chop food. Interesting comments. I think, I don't know if we have more reactions. Yeah, 2.5 million for a dead patient. Even the doctor himself won't pay that amount if he is in this kind of situation. Imagine the negligence and fraud that cost the woman her life, and they're asking for 2.5 million before the corpse would be released. Many hospitals knows that we Nigerians value our dead relatives and wants to give them proper burial. If not, leave the dead body for them to keep in the mortuary and check from time to time to make sure that they have not sold the body. Sold the body? This is bad in all shades. Nigerian hospitals care about money than saving life. 2.5 million when you didn't carry out any surgery. The list is full of extortion jargons. They need to refund her. Rest in peace to the dead. I really want the dead to rest in peace, because right now the dead is there, but they're just dragging all of these things. And I feel this whole thing, maybe both parties are at fault, the hospital and the girl in person, because you are supposed to make inquiries and all of that. She's saying they charge 25,000 for blood and all of that in the other hospital, not this very hospital. So hospitals are different, and then their prices are also different. Mr. Michael, what do you think?
Well, yeah, I feel it's about time that more needs to be done as it concerns our hospitals.
Yeah.
You talked about paying 175,000 rather than 50,000. Mercy, the honest truth is, when you are at that point, trying to save the life of your loved one, you do not care whether you're exploited. That doesn't come to your mind at first.
Yeah.
Yours is to provide what is needed to save his or her life. So at the end, you do not go ahead blaming yourself in case the person passes. So hospitals are now exploitative in their approach to treating Nigerians. Even if you give her a breakdown of what happened before the body will be released, I still can't wrap it around my head how it will amount to 2.5 million.
And she said it was just 24 hours, no surgery,
So
nothing.
This is highlighting how exploitative our healthcare system, especially the private one, even the government ones, have become over the years. No, there's no empathy, there's no pity, there's no professionalism or wanting to save life over money first, and there's no show of emotions in a place that should naturally have all I've stated.
Yeah.
It is quite sad, it's a sad narrative, and I feel the needed authority should come. This is just like highlighting what Nigerians have been going through for many years now. And I just hope the needed authorities would wade in and see how they can end the exploitative approach of many of these healthcares.
Yes, because I really want to see the breakdown of that list, because somebody just spent 24 hours in the hospital, no surgery, nothing, just I think blood and oxygen, and she's asked to pay 2.5 million naira, or you're holding the corpse. What exactly do you want to do with the corpse? That's what I am still trying to go. So like Mr. Michael said, we need the needed authorities to step in. Well, this is a developing story. I know we'll get more. And we also want to know the name of this hospital. I don't know why the girl is still trying to withhold the name of the hospital. You need to let us know the name so people would know if they can actually afford that hospital or not. Well, it's a developing story, and once we get more updates.
One I want them to understand and see how they can really address. You know, we cannot continue in this route.
Yeah.
We cannot continue in this way. More needs to be done.
Yeah, more needs to be done. Yeah, so once we get more updates concerning the more that needs to be done, we'll definitely bring them to you right here on Trending. Away from that, yeah, global attention has turned to Nigeria after American rapper Nicki Minaj spoke at the United Nations addressing the rising violence against Christians in Nigeria. In a statement, she called for urgent international action, stressing that no community should live in fear because of their faith. Let's see the footage.
In Nigeria, Christians are being targeted, driven from their homes, and killed. Churches have been burned. Families have been torn apart, and entire communities live in fear constantly, simply because of how they pray. Sadly, this problem is not only a growing problem in Nigeria, but also in so many other countries across the world, and it demands urgent action. And I want to be clear. Protecting Christians in Nigeria is not about taking sides or dividing people. It is about uniting humanity. Nigeria is a beautiful nation with deep faith traditions and lots of beautiful barbs that I can't wait to see. When one's church, mosque, or place of worship is destroyed, everyone's heart should break just a little bit. And the foundation of the United Nations, with its core mandate to ensure peace and security, should shake. I am joined here today by peace builders, by faith leaders, by those who saw violence, saw rising intolerance, saw the threats clearly before us, and chose not to look the other way. I am inspired by their work to build interfaith ties, to see the humanity across the lines which might divide us, and to fight for security and liberty for all those who pray. I look forward to our discussion today, and I hope it will encourage deepened solidarity for us to urgently work together to ensure every person can enjoy the right to believe, to worship, and to live in peace.
Well, this is coming from Nicki Minaj. So the big question now is, will this global spotlight push authorities to act, Mr. Michael? Do you see the authorities acting right now?
Yes, Nikki is a close friend of Nigeria, and she has visited Nigeria maybe once or twice.
Yeah, she has.
And she has that close bond with the great people of Nigeria. She's talked about our culture, our food, our music, our energy. But most especially, she's now highlighting religious intolerance, especially in the most populous black nation on the planet, and that's Nigeria. And you will agree with me that most recently, the debate around the issue of Christian genocide have been loudest, especially after President Donald Trump came out to say, well, the Americans need to do something as it concerns the unnecessary killings of Christians. Yes, it's something that is on the front burner, but just a glare of the great insecurity that have plagued us for more than a decade now. And I just hope those, especially those in the United Nations and in Congress, will sit up and see how they can indeed fashion out a way to help and also deal with the growing insecurity in Nigeria, especially as the Nigerian government is also being mandated to take the lead as it concerns securing life and properties in Nigeria, irrespective of what religious faith.
It's so bad that all of these things, we're still having more deniers that no genocide in the nation, when people outside the nation are seeing it very clear enough, and we're still having deniers that no genocide in the nation. Just yesterday, I saw this viral video about concerning a church here in Kwara State. I think they were doing their usual live streaming, and then bandits went there, scattered the whole church service and all of that. And at the end of the day, they still say there is no genocide in the nation. This is really sad. It's sad that it has to do with intervention from people outside, intervention from foreigners and all of that, for the federal government to finally accept that there is genocide in the country. I think I saw on one of the dailies that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is depressed because of all of these things happening in the country, that he is currently depressed. And I'm like, oh, thank God, finally there is acceptance. And that's one way of solving an issue, when there is acceptance. Yeah, he has finally accepted that, yeah, we have problems in the country. So I feel all of this will come to an end soon. That's what I feel.
Just our thoughts and our hope and our prayers was on those Nigerians that have lost loved ones, especially with the recent killing of a brigadier, General Musa Uba, who paid the utmost price in trying to defend Nigeria as a state. Our prayers and our hopes and our condolences are with them as they go through this trying period. But then that's how it is, and we're just praying for more to be done to end this circle of violence.
Yeah, because we are tired of it.
Left, or rather, that's engulfed this great nation.
We are tired of it. We just want to see an end to all of this. We just want to wake up one day and all of this just turns to story. Yeah, that's what we want. Well, away from that, the Nigeria Civil Aviation Authority, that is the NCAA, has finally decided to speak concerning all of the, those basketballs, the blows exchange and everything we saw just recently between Very Dark Man and comedian Mr. Jollof aboard a United Nigerians Airlines flight. According to the NCAA, the clash wasn't just a public spectacle, it endangers passengers, the crew, and even the aircraft. The authority says such behavior is unacceptable, especially in a controlled aviation environment where safety is everything. United Nigeria Airlines has now submitted its official reports, and the NCAA says it will take appropriate action based on the findings. Well, this is coming from the NCAA, and we're wondering what could be disciplinary actions against the very
flight risks. That's one major sanction, and they'll be barred from embarking on any flight anytime soon, especially as concerned Nigerian airspace. Because just imagine, it is quite disturbing to see that violence erupt in a space that contains other Nigerians, and also a flight that sometimes things can just go serious and they might have a crash. Will very dark man want to turn to a very light man in the future? Will Mr. Jollof want to turn to Mr. Baga Rice? Let them really reason about this and stop that kind of violence, especially when it's a controlled space that have other Nigerians that are also using that very place.
Yeah, I'm just surprised that I've not started seeing Quam 1, Quam 2, Quam 3 and all of that going on. Well, that's it coming from the NCAA. So in a related update, Very Dark Man has publicly apologized for the confrontation with Mr. Jollof. Yeah, he admitted the incident was unnecessary and expressed regret for how things escalated quickly, especially in front of other passengers. Well, let's see the footage.
But I really want to apologize. I just wanted it to be a little bit funny, but at the end of the day, it's actually not really funny. What happened yesterday was avoidable. I was not even supposed to do that, you know. I am really, really, really sorry. I really want to apologize to the passengers of United Nigeria Airlines yesterday. It was totally irresponsible from my end. And I will not say it is not in my character to fight. You understand? I would just like to apologize, especially to one mama that was on the plane, and she kept on saying, "Very dark man, go and sit down," you know. Looking back at what happened yesterday, I really, really didn't like that part. And I saw the faces of a lot of people. Even though some people saw everything as cruise and it was all vibe on social media, I acted really, really irresponsible. I acted really, really irresponsible, and I am very, very, very sorry. I apologize to the people that maybe look up to me, and I apologize to everyone that might be disappointed in me for what happened yesterday. I am really, really, really sorry. Now, I cannot guarantee that it will not happen again. I can only guarantee that it will not happen on the plane, on the bus, or in a public place that will stop people from going to their destination of business or destination of interest. But I cannot guarantee anybody that it will not happen again. But I'm really, really sorry for yesterday, and I will make sure it will not happen in a public place again.
Okay, I think I actually have issues with this apology. Yes, it was going all well and smooth until he said, yes, I cannot guarantee that it will not happen again, but it might happen, but not in a public place. And now I'm wondering, Very Dark Man, you don't want to end all of this beef going on between you and Mr. Jollof, because this is a prolonged beef, because we've been seeing footage even before that very day of threats. When I see you, I'll make sure I slap you. When I see you, I'll make sure I slap you. But it was just so bad that the people that gave us that angle of that shot did not actually show us who gave the first slap. We want to know who gave the first slap, because we've been seeing exchange of, I will slap you, I will slap you. But now Very Dark Man is saying, I'm not saying it will not happen again. It might happen, but not in a public place. And I'm wondering, are you really sorry? Is this apology holding anything?
Well, yeah, he's apologizing for those that he felt he risked their safety.
Yeah.
But he's indirectly telling Mr. Jollof to brace up for part 2.
Part 2.
And if I'm Mr. Jollof, if I'm in his camp, I would advise you, Mr. Jollof, you should now start martial arts training or ensure that your muzzle increases. If the Jollof is giving you less muzzle, either eat banga rice,
so you don't use teeth
fried
again.
rice. So please, nobody should lose any nipple in the next fight. We want to see a fair fight without any woman, without anybody biting the other, and continue disgracing yourself. And we'll be here trending you.
Yes, I will be here to trend it. I always want to wait to watch all of this, because it seems we're asking you all to just stop this, but it seems it's not ready to stop now. You are not ready to stop it, because I saw some footage coming from Jollof supporters and all of that, and people are really happy with all of this. They're catching fun, and it looks like spectacle and all of that.
It's more like a distraction from the very serious issues that are bothering us.
Yeah, I think we saw one comment yesterday saying this is not a distraction from the naval officer and Wiki issue. Nigerians, they just need small distractions, and then they forget about every other thing. They just use it to catch cruise. Well, I am here to make it trend. I am here to always bring all of this hot gist right here on Trending, in as much as I want to talk more and more and more, but time is not a friend of mine, and we really need to wrap things up on Trending today. But it's been an amazing time. I had fun, and I know you had fun too. You can engage with us on all our social media platforms, on Facebook, on YouTube, on Instagram, at Atlantic Media and TV. This is where I have to tell you that I will see you for another super exciting edition of Viewpoint, same time tomorrow. I remain Mercy Irabo. Do have a great day.
Well, anyway, I'm Michael Gobadia. A great day is what